This is a quick introduction into metalworking or fitting. Over the coming months I am hoping to get some tutorials online showing you how to do basic metalworking and basic fitting. The majority of the pieces here we made using a drill, an hacksaw and also a file. For example, that centre punch, that is actually made from high carbon steel. That was actually just filed into that shape using a metal file. Same goes for the chisel. That was a piece of high carbon steel and it was filed to that shape. This clamp was made from a solid block of steel. The actual part in the centre there was chain drilled and then it was filed until it got to the correct shape. The screw part and the anvil part were actually made on a lathe, but the rest of all this part here was simply chain drilled and then filed to the correct shape. The drill drift, this is one of the first things you actually make as an apprentice. That was simply made using an hacksaw and the file and the drill. So that's a very quick piece to make, very easy. The engineer square is a little bit more difficult to make because the handle is interleaved with a piece of brass. That is then pinned using silver pin steel, and if you look at that piece of steel there, it is incredibly difficult to see how it is actually pinned together. You can actually see the pins. The hacksaw, that was quite difficult to make. The handle is actually made out of aluminium and that was a solid block. That was chain drilled on the inside and then it was filed to get it to the correct shape. All these pieces were actually measured to ensure that they were within the correct tolerance of the drawing that we were working to. And then quite a bit of work went into making the tap wrench. If you're really serious about metalworking or fitting, I highly recommend going on a proper course at a recognised college. I did a course at Training 2000 some years ago, and this is where I made all these pieces.